Now, 28 Tampa Bay News.
Hi, I'm Marty Tucker.
And I'm Brendan McLaughlin. Here's something you haven't heard in a long time. Severe thunderstorm warnings. There's one right now in the Bay Area. Let's check in with Wayne Shattuck for the storm forecast. Wayne?
Well, that's exactly right. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Let's go to Storm Tracker and we'll show you where they are. First of all, eastern sections of Pasco County, also the southern one half of Sumter County, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15. Eastern sections of Polk County, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30. These have been growing and moving to the east-northeast throughout the afternoon hours. The biggest threat from these storms will be heavy rain, a very good likelihood of hail, of course, lots of lightning and strong winds, possibly gusting as much as 60 miles per hour. We have additional rains and thunderstorms farther to the south, down in Hardy County and also in Highlands County. We'll show you that and give you all the weather coming up in just a few minutes. Marty?
All right, something we haven't heard in a long time. All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. A Pasco County couple who opened their home to children nobody else wanted were thrown in jail for trying to protect their kids. The police say it's just not right, but they were forced to arrest Debbie and Steve Ludwig for child neglect. 28 Tampa Bay's Don Gourmet says the Ludwigs tried to lock out a violent teenager from their home, and they were locked up by police.
Lunchtime at the Ludwig home is busier than McDonald's. There are 17 kids to feed. Steve and Debbie Ludwig adopted all but one of them from abusive or special needs families.
We felt a burden by the Lord. We're Christians, and we felt led to adopt sibling groups.
They ended up with 16 angels and Andrew.
Our children are terrified of him.
And him hurting people, terrorizing people, scaring them.
Andrew was a terror. He was very violent.
It's all documented in 30-something police reports over the past year, involving everything from assaults to knife attacks.
We were afraid of Andrew hurting someone in the house.
And we took an oath. When you adopt children, you take an oath to protect them. And I feel as though we would have been breaking the law by allowing him in here, knowing what he's capable of doing.
The cops gave us one choice: take Andrew back in the house or get arrested for child abuse abandonment.
Police had no choice. State law says parents have to keep a 14-year-old boy no matter how dangerous he is. So Mom and Dad are marched out of the house in handcuffs. They're going to jail. But the cops still have a problem. They don't know what to do with Andrew. So they try to convince the rest of the kids to take control of Andrew because one of them is 18 years old, and that's technically an adult.
Then no way. I mean, that's not going to happen, so we all packed up and left.
The state put Andrew in a shelter, where days later he was arrested for scalding a girl with hot water. The Port Richey police chief thinks Steve and Debbie took the appropriate action to protect their children from a dangerous attack. He also says there's a flaw in the system because police had to arrest the Ludwigs.
We just tried so hard to be the best parents we could be, and we wound up in jail.
In Port Richey, Don Gourmet, 28 Tampa Bay News.
Well, if the Ludwigs are convicted, they face up to 5 years in prison, and the state will have to take custody of their children and find new homes for them.
Tampa police want your help in finding a missing woman. Lavinia Brown Jones was last seen April 17th at her home on East Genesee Street. The 86-year-old may have been trying to travel to Fort Myers. Anybody with information is asked to call Detective Lynn Stambro. Her number is area code 813-276-3540. Again, the number 813-276-3540. And some bad news for kids in Tampa Pony Baseball League. It appears somebody either left a deep fryer on or somehow it turned on itself and started a fire. The concession stand at Perio Street in the Forest Hills area sustained $20,000 in damage. Tampa Fire Rescue contained the fire in just a few minutes. The good news was nobody was injured. The league hopes to get repairs made by next month in time for the Tampa Bay All-Star Game. Marty?
An arsonist is keeping the Tampa Heights neighborhood under siege still, but in less than a half an hour, homeowners are getting together to figure out how to take back their neighborhood. And the city of Tampa is tearing down more abandoned homes right now. 28 Tampa Bay's Stacy Phillips joins us live now with all the details. Stacy, what's happening?
Well, Marty, this is a very busy neighborhood, and I don't want to waste any time. Take a look. This is the fourth home that is being torn down right now in Tampa Heights. It's the fourth one of after 3 were torn down yesterday. And this may look familiar to some of you because this was one of the homes that was burned last week as people were sleeping inside. Now, you can see that yesterday that they tore down a few homes. Now, the reason the city is tearing these homes down in Tampa Heights is because 28 vacant homes have been set on fire in the past year. Now, the demolition began yesterday when 3 structures, including an abandoned barbecue shop, were destroyed. Now, the city has earmarked $75,000 to pay for the demolitions. Property owners will later be billed if they don't pay. A lien will be placed on their property. Now, again, take a look at this live. You can see that they are really demolishing the back of this, and it only takes a few minutes. And this is the 4th house again, and there's 33 more homes to go. So that's what's happening out here live. And in about a half hour, there is going to be a meeting of people in the neighborhood. They're trying to take control, and they will be patrolling the streets, and they're going to meet in about a half hour to decide what the next game plan will be.
All right, thanks a lot, Stacy. That's an important meeting for that neighborhood. It will be held at Highland Park in the 2300 block of Highland Avenue. It begins in just about 25 minutes. Brendan?
Another day without rain means the Bay Area is still running dry. The drought is killing lawns and landscaping, but some continue to water on. How do they do it? 28 Tampa Bay's Rob Spicker is live in Tampa to explain. Rob, what is their secret? I'd like to know. A lot of people would, I'm sure.
Yeah, they would, Brendan, but not everyone's going to be able to do this. The secret is to get an exemption from the city. So far, 253 homeowners and businesses have applied. There's been some interesting rejections like Adventure Island and the Lowry Park Zoo, but Raymond James Stadium here got an exemption that they wanted. 28 Skycam might just give you a look at the green grass that is inside the field there. The field is able to stay green because the stadium got an exemption to water before 6 a.m. and after 8 p.m. any day of the week.
Back quickly, Diallo, go!
If the grass at Raymond James Stadium looks as green as it can be on TV, it is. The Tampa Sports Authority has an exemption allowing the field to be watered 7 days a week if necessary.
Valderrama.
Sports Authority officials declined to go on camera, but say the field is designed to drain, so play never has to stop because of rain. The design also means any water put on the grass goes straight through as well.
There is no boilerplate per se, but each case is looked at individually.
India Williams of the Tampa Water Department helps decide who gets exemptions and who doesn't.
They are professionally managed and maintained. They are very conscious about the number of inches that they are putting on the ground. They are trying to save thousands of dollars worth of turf.
Several city golf courses got turned down for the full exemptions they wanted. Instead, fairways can be watered once a week and greens and tees 3 days a week. While Busch Gardens made some water-saving moves on its own, the theme park did get the okay to clean the trams, strollers, and sidewalks every day. And for those business areas like Tampa Bay Park that wanted to water more, they were told to spread out their one-day watering totals over several days.
And that's what all this variance requests are about, is to try to strike a balance, to try to make some good common sense decisions and not to cause anyone in particular undue pain. We're all in pain right now.
Now, interestingly, 80% of these exemptions go to pressure washing businesses or for requests to pressure wash just a home. Most of those requests have been approved, in fact, but they're limited right now to just using as little water as possible and making sure their equipment is working as well as possible so that it's not leaking. Problem is, though, just as the drought is drying up the water supply, it's also drying up business. This afternoon, I contacted several of these pressure washing companies, none of them out working. It's a tough time for them, even though they can use the water, Brendan.
It sure is. Thanks, Rob. A little bit of rain would solve a lot of these problems. Wayne Shattuck is back in the forecast center right now, putting the final touches on tonight's forecast. He is seeing some afternoon thunderstorms on his radar, and he'll join us again in a few minutes. Marty?
20 years ago today, 35 people perished after a ship slammed into the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. And tonight, people are remembering that tragedy. Some say it was the worst disaster in Bay Area history. The Coast Guard determined that bad weather was a huge contributor to the deadly accident that morning. The captain of the MS Summit Venture reportedly couldn't see anything in front of the ship. Captain John Larrow was cleared of any negligence. Anthony Gattus escaped death by 14 inches. He was in a car, that car there, that stopped right near the severed edge. He said nobody could see anything.
No, that's why those vehicles went off the cliff, because they didn't know what was going on. Between the noise, the wind, and the rain, and the darkness.
Since that accident, the Department of Transportation has invested $244 million to rebuild and make the Sunshine Skyway safer. The southbound lanes reopened 5 years later in 1987. It has a 400 6-foot larger channel space, more clearance, and concrete bumpers. Brendan?
A New Mexico man is charged with the murder of his best friend. He pleaded no contest, but Rafi Kodikian says he was just putting his buddy out of misery. Kodikian and his friend got lost while hiking in the Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico. They didn't pack enough water. Both became severely dehydrated and lost. Kodikian claims they made a suicide pact to end their misery, but after killing his friend, he didn't go through with his own suicide. On 2020 Wednesday, Connie Chung sat down and talked with Kodikian in an exclusive first-time interview. Kodikian tells Connie he stabbed his friend out of mercy after wandering for days lost in that desert heat. Others say Kodikian's tale of desperation and death is just a cover for murder. The exclusive 2020 interview airs tomorrow night, starting at 10 right here on ABC 28.
That's an intriguing story.
It is. It'd be interesting to know exactly what did happen. Researchers are keeping tabs on a problem you may have never heard of before.
Kind of hard to swallow, but when you hear about this new study, you'll check your sandwich twice before eating it. Plus, see which 2 major retailers are pulling what they think is a major problem off their shelves.
I'm Wayne Shattuck in the 28 Forecast Center as we show you a live shot from 28 Skycam Clearwater. It looks pretty tranquil looking out to the Gulf, but let me tell you, we've got thunderstorm warnings over parts of Pasco County, also Sumter, Polk, and now Highlands County. Tonight, we will be partly cloudy with more storms, overnight lows in the 60s and 70s. All the weather coming up.
Fish contaminated with gasoline made it to market. But how it got there will really surprise you.
Your fish are covered in gasoline, sir?
Mitch Locklear likes to fish, and not always legally. But what happened when his boatload of fish was confiscated was enough to turn his stomach.
I was shocked, man. I really was, that officers of this state would conduct themselves in such a manner.
28 Tampa Bay News investigates to see if fish that should have been trash ended up on the dinner table. Special reports only on 28 Tampa Bay News tomorrow night at 11.
For more information, log on to the Buy Owner website at buyowner.com.
Love my mama, she's #1. We buy her gifts at Ross because it's fun. Mom's the coolest, she's got style, and Ross has gifts that'll make her smile. Love my mama, yeah, I love my mama. Yeah.
Save up to 65% on the best brands for moms.
So if you love your mama and the month is May, you gotta shop at Ross for Mother's Day. Love my mama. Said I love my mama. Shopping at Ross.
When you're choosing a law firm to represent you in a personal injury or medical malpractice matter, make sure that the firm has the financial ability to take your case through trial. The insurance company has deep pockets and can hire the best experts. It's important that your attorney is financially able to compete with the insurance company's lawyers. Be sure and ask your lawyer, can you afford to handle my case? Morgan, Collin, and Gilbert, for the people.
New at 5:30, a bill before the governor will put the brakes on Florida's car emission inspections. It could save residents time and money, but will you pay in the long run? Then at 6, water restrictions are frustrating homeowners all around the Bay Area. How much green stuff will you have to shell out of your pocket to make your lawn green again? Still to come on 28 Tampa Bay News.
There's a place, my friends, where toppings know no boundaries, where an outer crust is out of the question. It's a place called The Edge. It's back at Pizza Hut. The Edge Pizza is toppings on top of toppings on a crispy, thin pizza with no outer crust to fence them in. And lots of cheese keeping it all together. Take your taste buds on a grand tour with the Works recipe or create your own. But hurry, The Edge won't be around much longer. So go to The Edge, my pizza brethren. It's a place you will not soon forget. The Edge Pizza, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Dear Albertsons, I hear the people in your meat and seafood department are terrific.
Knowledgeable, helpful, and friendly. That's how we describe our meat and seafood experts. They'll cut and trim your meat just the way you like it, offer you helpful tips on how to prepare your favorite dishes, and even steam your shellfish for free. For quality, selection, and value, check out Albertsons Meat and Seafood Department. Albertsons, it's your store.
Stop assuming that just because you're hugging one of these, you can't have a car that was made for hugging these. Oldsmobile Alero. with the road-hugging active response system. Alera by Oldsmobile.
The UV Index is brought to you by Autoway Chevrolet in Tampa and Clearwater.
Reach out and touch someone. It could make you live longer. Research has shown that touch deepens the level of intimacy in a conversation and confers a sense of empathy and caring. To enhance intimacy in your relationship, add simple caresses such as touching hands or brushing against a shoulder or thigh or kissing an ear or forehead. Your partner or friend will really know that you are listening and you will feel younger. Long-term loving relationships can make your real age as much as 6.5 years younger. Here's to living longer and living better. I'm Linda Hurtado. I'll see you again tonight at 11.
If you want to know another secret to a long, healthy life, the answer comes to you tonight at 11. Linda will take a look at the benefits of calcium and how much you should be getting. That's Live Longer with Linda.
Are plastic bread clips the next modern menace? North American researchers say they're getting more and more cases of people accidentally swallowing these little square plastic clips. Those clips are getting wedged in the bowels. At least 3 patients have died as a result. The rest needed extensive surgery. Doctors believe there could be several hundred cases in North America every year, but they have not been keeping records on this. The clips are always around food, and doctors say sometimes they just fall in.
Maybe these people are accidentally getting them caught on their sandwiches. They take a bite of their sandwich, they feel something crunchy, but because they have dentures and decreased oral sensation, they just swallow this crunchy bit that's in their mouth.
10 million of the bite-sized clips are made in North America every day. Researchers suggest redesigning the clips or making them biodegradable, so if they are swallowed, then they'll just disintegrate. That's the wildest thing I've ever heard of. So
hard to know what hazard is coming down the pike again. And
that's right.
Right now, thunderstorms for some people are something to be concerned about. There's some high winds associated with them.
Right. Wayne, I was out in Sun City Center this afternoon for a luncheon and got rained on out there.
That's right. Our interior sections of the viewing area are starting to get some rain today. Not at the beaches, and it won't happen at the beaches, but inland, some pretty powerful storms. Let's go to Storm Tracker, and we'll show you those right now. Still under the gun, officially, well, I guess it's 5:15 now. So right now, look at this area. Officially, we're ending the severe thunderstorm warning, but this may be continued because look at this, very strong thunderstorm activity, northeastern sections of Pasco County. That and this part of Sumter County under a severe thunderstorm warning officially until 5:15, but these are still very strong. So the warning for this area may be continued. We're expecting or experiencing lots of lightning, also some very strong winds, possibly gusting to 60 miles per hour. Large hail, very strong possibility as these storms continue to move on, and they're moving very slowly. They keep regenerating over the same spot, so we may have some areas getting some very heavy rain amounts. Also, we have eastern, southeastern sections of Polk County